So if you're under 25, the number one thing I would like you to think about, getting a job. Now, let me explain this. Some of you are saying, but Shadwick, you are advising people to get a job. Isn't that a recipe for disaster? No. Wait, let me explain why I say you should get a job if you're under 25. If you're under 25, get a job. Now, don't just get a job anywhere else. No. Remember, when you're under 25, what you need more than anything is mentorship. A lot of people under 25 don't have proper mentors. That's why they make weird mistakes when they're in their 30s, and some of them in their 40s, they're still recovering. The number one thing I want to invest in knowledge. So find a job where you could be mentored. For example, identify an entrepreneur. Okay? Not a very big organization. No, that's not a good idea if you're under 25. If you work for a very big company, it will take you years before you could become useful. Because they'll put you in some storage facility. If it's an audit firm, you'll be putting files in that department, or you'll be in some receivable control somewhere or some credit control somewhere for 10 years or whatever years, because you're still young. They can't make you manager when you're 22. So when you're 22, 23, 24, it's difficult to be director. Anywhere in the world, it's very difficult at that age. Okay, because you're under 25. So possibly they'll simply use you in different departments. They send you here, they send you there. There, before you know it, you have spent 10 years, don't know anything serious. So what I want you to do if you're under 25, identify a small business that is doing fine, okay? And then offer to work for that particular individual. Now this sounds static, we want money, yeah. You're under 25, you can get a small amount of money, but get a huge, great deal of knowledge. If you find an entrepreneur who is doing fine, but is then to have a very huge workforce, that guy is going to expose you to a lot of things. If you're under 25, what you need is to learn. So you're going to learn how an actual business is run. You're going to learn different ways of doing things, because in small businesses, people don't have specialization. One person does a lot of things. And that's what you want when you're under 25. You want to know as much as you possibly can. That in your 30s, you should not work like a donkey. In your 40s, you should not work like a donkey, because you worked like a donkey under 25. You worked for somebody who has a small business that is doing fine, and now that somebody has a small workforce, which means you're going to be involved in different areas of the business. So you become more valuable faster than your friends who are working in big corporations. Do you know why? Because in big corporations, there's something called specialization. And the specialization makes it difficult for people to progress, because you'll be employed as an accountant, for example, accounts assistant, and all you'll be doing is writing those dongoistic routine accounting works. Or you get a job with an audit firm, big audit firm, but guess what? You don't even know who the partner is, because they've put you in some storage facility somewhere where you're simply putting out files every single day for the next 5 years. So you have 5 years of work experience, but guess what? You have no meaningful experience that could help you in the real world. So working for big companies at a young age may sound good. Say he works for a very big company, but it may slow your progress. 5 years from now, your friends who are working for small businesses would have had more experience than you, and they would have been more expensive than you, because they will be paid more money than you. You don't know anything. All you know is putting files for 5 years. Oh, credit control for 5 years. How does that help you if you go out in the real world? You worked in the credit control department for 5 years, for 10 years. That does not help you in any way. It is why when you lose that job, it becomes difficult for other employers to employ you, because the only experience you have after 10 years of hard work is the credit control, is receivable control, is a specific department putting files in the audit firm. Now, you're not a visitor. Companies want to employ people who are visitor, people who could be useful in different ways. A person like me, any company in this world would like to employ me, because I'm useful in so many ways. I am not just an accountant, no. I am so many things that I could be useful for any organization in this world. So that's what you want. Identify a small business, work for a small business, and learn as much as you can, because you're going to get first-hand mentorship from the business owner. You could ask them questions. You could learn their mistakes. You could see what they are doing fine. So you're going to learn faster than your friends. And I'm not speaking from without. That's what I did. I worked for a man. He was a chartered accountant as well. He was a very smart man. I learned so many things about our businesses then, because I was involved in different aspects of the business. I used to know, I was the human resource, I was a finance officer. I was this. I was a lot of things in the same business. So I handled different parts of the business. I worked like a donkey. But guess what? When I quit that job, when I resigned from that particular business, today when I look back, I say, oh my goodness, I learned so much in a short period of time. It is why I am more expensive than many people I know. I have never been a junior after that job. Like every other company that has ever called me, it's as a senior position because I know too much. So that is the advice I'm giving you if you're under 25. Guys, somebody give me a comment if that makes sense. Please, let's make the 25-year-olds understand this knowledge will benefit you. So if you want to go to big corporations, I'm not discouraging you. Okay?